What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and I just want to make a quick video. I'm in bed, about to go to sleep, and I just got a package in the mail from DHL. And it is the Hexarelin peptide. But before I talk about any of that stuff, if this is your first time here, what's up? I'm Sam, and if you're returning, it's good to freaking see you. Now, I wanted to talk about that and what I'm going to be doing with the Hexarelin, as well as how I plan to use it going forward for research purposes. But before I get into any of that, this is strictly for entertainment purposes. I'm not a doctor, nor do I claim to pretend that I know what I'm fucking talking about. You should not do anything that I do in any of these videos at all, period, ever. Okay? And all the peptides and SARMs or whatever I talk about is strictly for entertainment purposes. Okay, so Hexarelin. First of all, the packaging, I don't want to show you because I don't want to get banned or anything, but the packaging came in this very nice box that is probably like 6 inches by 5 inches. Has a little flap on it that you just fold up on the edge of it, and it opens it up to the 10. It's a kit, so which means there's, generally speaking, when you get a kit of some type of peptide, it is 10 when you get a kit of something. Also, don't ask me where to get this, because this is the first time I have used this company for research purposes, and I don't know if how like legitimate the shit is. So I'm going to get into that in a minute, but no need to ask me because I'm not going to fucking tell you right now. But stay tuned and press that subscribe button, and I will make a video on that in the future. But in the meantime, a kit comes in, generally speaking, it's going to be 10 vials. So sometimes you might have 10, like if you're doing GH, you may have 10 vials of 10 IUs, right? For a total of 100 IUs for HGH. This is Hexarelin. Hexarelin is a GH peptide, a human, I think it's a GHRP, which is a human growth hormone releasing peptide, and this was developed, I think, a third generation. So they had like GHRP6, then GHRP2. There's ipamorelin, and well, there's also ones in the past. I think a semamorelin or something, which has actually been around, I think, since the 70s or 80s, and used to be used for treatment of dwarfism. Anyways, so this is another generation of peptide. It is more potent, and actually I was just looking at this research paper that combined a GHRP 129, so I think that's CJC 129. I think it's the same thing, but I didn't look it up. Somebody else can let me know down below in the comments. But combining, what they did is they took GHRP 129 plus as one, and then they took Hexarelin as one, and then they did a combination of the two, and the results were not additive, they were multiplicative, which just means that there's a synergy to combining the two of them together. Additive would just mean like if you have 2 plus 2, that's going to be 4 as your result, where a say that 5 times fast. Multiplying that shit together, you're not necessarily going to get, it's not saying 2 times 2, it's just going to be greater than the addition of 2 plus 2. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 8, or something like that. So if, and by the way, 2 is a bad answer, because if you take 2 times 2, it's 4, or you take 2 plus 2, it's 4. So that's not necessarily the best example here. Anyways, I don't have any I'm pretty sure it's CJC 129 or something like that. I don't have any to combine with this, but I will be researching with this, starting out at 200 to probably 200 micrograms. A microgram is a fraction of a milligram. So a 250 micrograms is 1/4 of a milligram. And then, 1,000 milligrams is a gram. So this is a very, very tiny amount relative to, say, if you were thinking about testosterone. By the way, press that subscribe button because I have an interesting video coming out on my TRT and what actually happened. So I have another interesting video coming out on that. But now, to talk about how to check if this is real. I will just be taking more of a mega dose once, just to see if I have the side effects associated with a large dose of this peptide, and because I'm not going to be sending it to a lab, honestly. So the other way you can check is just to see if you get the side effects from it, right? And you get, by side effects, I don't necessarily mean negative side effects, right? Like if you take something and you get a crazy pump from it, that is an effect from it, which would be a side effect. It can be a positive side effect and it could be a negative side effect, right? Like taking TRT, 200 milligrams a week, I feel much warmer in my workouts and I sweat a little bit more. So some people might think that is a negative side effect. I like it. So to me, that's a positive side effect. Anyways, I just found out this evening that Walmart and Walgreens and CVS, and then there's a local pharmacy around here, nobody carries bacteriostatic water. I think they do have sterile water, but what's the difference between sterile water and BAC water? This is a complete tangent, but sterile water is basically just a one-time use, where bacteriostatic water, I think it has benzo something whatever alcohol in it, which allows it stops the alcohol in there, stops the water from being contaminated with some type of microorganism or bacteria because of the alcohol in there. With the sterile water, it's good, but it's basically just good for one use, because then it starts building up bacteria and microorganisms in the water, and you could have an infection from it. So if you're going to just be taking one dose of something, you could use the sterile water versus like a BAC, like the bacteriostatic water. If you're going to mix something and split a dosage up over time, BAC water would be a better choice for that. Anyways, if you guys have other questions than where it came from, let me know down below in the comments. Also, your thoughts on a mega dose. So basically, the thing was that nobody carries BAC water at a local pharmacy, so I had to order it. So I might not be able to test this till this coming week. I did order it, but I might not be able to actually test it till mid next week when the BAC water comes in. If you guys have any thoughts about the size of the megadose, let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. My Instagram is in the description. Reach out to me on Instagram and ask me any questions. Peace.